Welcome to the Take It Home podcast, a podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons17. We've got the crew reunited today. Got our usual gaggle of good-looking men. I'll give the hot tag to my partner. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media brands at Z Hendricks Brand. And check us out at Country Air Official for Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand on Twitter. I'll pass it off to our senior official.
What's up, guys? Referee Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Waffles. I myself had some IHOP tendies and waffles this weekend and some chocolate chip pancakes. Very delicious. Yes. Homemade chocolate chip pancakes. Came out with all out. How was the breakfast hunt for you guys? Perch?
Non-existent. I could go for hearing more of your story to tell you the truth. That sounds wonderful. Wonderful.
Very good. Only problem there's like the IHOP isn't far, but it's definitely not close. So it's a little annoying to get to. Like it's just in a weird place out here. But how was your breakfast hunt, Zach?
I actually did do breakfast, so maybe I took Perch as well to this weekend. We got some frozen waffles. Val tells me it's gross, but I've been spreading some peanut butter on it, eating it with the syrup, and it's not. Hey, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Yeah. Val and Jack would disagree, but
they're silly.
As a wise man would say, once you realize you don't have to have turkey for Thanksgiving, life is better.
yeah. And hey, you know what else makes life better? That banger of the week. Perch, what you got?
This week's banger of the week is the definition of a banger. If you grew up in the times that we grew up, the song made its mark, and it survives. Fat Lip, Sum 41.
Hell yeah.
Hit me hard. Just one of those songs that has probably been stuck in the head at least once a month.
I feel like I saw the music video for this pop up like this past weekend. My girl watches like some like Amazon music video channel. I feel like that came up this week.
Oh, that's great. That song defines it, like 2000, 2001 era.
Yeah,
that song just defines a sound, an era. It's more than just a music. It's the era.
Taker back into time. Yeah.
Taker was wearing the bandana and the motorcycle, and so much angst in the music in that age.
Yep.
It was a movement.
Full of piss and vinegar.
It was a movement. It wasn't just Taker on a bike. It was he was representing everything going on in the world at that time. And yeah, Fat Lip, Sum 41, is definitely music of the times.
Yeah. God dang, yeah, probably was that. Yeah, that's about that time. I can remember being at my grandma's late at night watching MTV music videos and that coming on. That was an era. Why don't we go ahead and get into our first topic and talk about what we watched this week? Some good wrestles on. Zach, you were before we started talking about some of the things you watched. Why don't you let us know?
Yeah, I watched AEW Revolution. I'm pretty sure you guys talked about that last weekend.
Yeah, but you can go over it.
Yeah, I watched. I didn't watch the first 3 matches though. Like the one I really want to watch, I haven't watched yet. The trios tag.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's really good.
I feel like that one's a banger. But I enjoyed the tag title match. Obviously, I love tag wrestling. The Ass Boys are great. I like them as the tag champs, because everyone knows it's just a great joke. But I mean, not a great joke. Just like they know, like they like who they are, and like they embrace it. Like they know they embrace. Like, I like when guys like realize like, hey, like what we want to get over is not getting over. Everyone's gonna call us ass boys, so like let's just roll with it and make a fool. Like heel should be like should embrace it and like make an ass of themselves. And then like FTR coming back, uh, obviously great.
Yep.
The Bryan Danielson match with MJF was phenomenal, and then just the end going the distance and like have declaring a winner and like with the cheating and all that. I mean, obviously everyone's gonna be wondering what's going on with Daniel Bryanson. Now with that promo and all that, but should be interesting. I watched some micro wrestling. Not gonna lie, I was watching that this weekend. Actually, there's a lot of good stuff that I'm gonna be stealing. So I entertained. We actually saw a guy come out on a motorcycle like Taker, like mini bike.
Nice.
Um,
Parker Taker, favorite Taker.
yes, sir. Freaking what else did I watch? I've been watching. I was just going through my Instagram, like watching my stuff and being like, oh, I used to do a lot of cooler stuff too. Like, why do I abandon these things? I was cooler than I thought.
Yeah.
But
like you had something. You might not have figured it all out, but there was some stuff there.
yeah, it's definitely like watching like and don't know what I do now, but compared to what I used to do and like stuff, I'm like, man, that was super cool. It's like I got a nice arsenal, like I think that in my back pocket now.
Yeah.
But and yeah, I watched our match too that we're gonna talk about later, but I definitely watched that. I wasn't too mad. I definitely there's parts where I'm like, oh, that's a little too fast, but then like it's to the right pace.
Yeah.
But like again, we'll talk about that later. But that's about it. I feel like you guys will bring us some stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, I watched that. Thanks for good.
Let's see. Perch, what did you watch?
Yeah, that AEW last week was pretty good. Claudio and Mox going to town. The Dark Order. Fun match to watch. All hell breaking loose at the end too. Entertaining. Hobbs and Wardlow going at it. Street fight. Kept me guessing the whole time through. Like the windshield getting busted on the car. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Seeing it firsthand with John Wayne Murdoch and Oren. I've got an appreciation for that windshield getting busted. And then went back and watched some New Japan 2001 or 2000 Chono against Muto, and it was NWO Muto and Team 2000 Chono. Great era, grand entrances. I think it may have been the Tokyo Dome, judging by the entrances. Just incredible match. At one point, about midway through, KG gets Chono up on the one of the announcers' tables on the outside. Chono's about to hit a power bomb, and it gets countered to a dragon screw off the table, and they start just working that leg, and Muto's hitting the drop kicks to the leg, working the figure four back and forth, and it was just a hell of a contest. You didn't know who was going to get to the ropes and who was going to be dead in the center. Muto hits Chono with the backbreaker, climbs up to the top rope, hits the moonsault 1, 2, and 2 and 9 tenths. Chono kicks out.
Nobody kicks out of the moonsault.
Oh, it was incredible. A couple more figure fours and back to Chono with a front face lock kind of submission. And eventually Muto went up for the moonsault one more time, and the knees came up for a counter. The step over toe hold front face lock was engaged, and Muto, with everything he had, just got to the ropes. So Chono pulls him out, and tucks both legs in for a double toe
Ooh,
hold, step over, toe hold, front face lock. This time Muto wasn't going anywhere,
yeah.
and he had to tap out. It was incredible. Great match, great storytelling. Um, yeah, two of the best, and that's why they are the best.
Definitely. Awesome. I watched some Rampage. Sammy G in Action Andretti was as high paced as you would expect it to be, and conversely, Takeshita versus Preston Vance was as hard hitting as you would expect it to be. I do still enjoy Preston Vance using the rolling clothesline. That's what it's called, right? I'm gonna say yes. Giving it up to good old Brody Lee. Still, his looks very good and looked like he killed Takeshita. Got another Riho versus Nyla Rose match where I just think they have really good chemistry. Really enjoyed that one. Very slick pin for the finish, and then those damn girls come out there and spray paint Rio. Not the biggest fan of that. They're a bunch of jerks. Um, Watched a couple of random matches here and there. I watched a old Scorpio Sky versus Desmond Xavier from Defy Wrestling, I believe it was. I think it was both their debuts there. Um, Crazy to see. It was a very cocky era of Scorpio Sky and a young Wesley Desmond Xavier, and just wild to see where he was then, because you can definitely see like the parts of his moveset that were there that have evolved and changed over time. And a character in the ring, Scorpio Sky just has a very, very big personality. And I think that kind of overshadowed Dez at that point. But I think now, years later, you definitely see the growth. And I'm all for it. Watch Rascals, Trey Miguel, and Myron Reed versus Death Threat Army. Um, that was very good, very good. Death Threat Army, very interesting. Like I've watched a couple of their matches. Um, their pairings are always very interesting. This one was Tommy Vendetta and not Jack Price and not Isaiah Bro.
Aaron, right?
Huh?
Aaron, the blonde guy, Aaron.
Yeah.
That's usually like the go-to. Like I would say, mostly like when I see them all together, like I would see Aaron and Tommy Vendetta tagging, or Aaron with Jack Price. Like
Yeah,
Aaron's usually
Aaron and
guy.
Tommy have a very interesting move set together.
I'm I was a big fan of them, like especially like that time I was supposed to wrestle Tommy for Michigan. Like I looked up the Death Road Army and like I was a big fan of all of it. Like it seems like it's like a bunch of like guys who like I always look at Aaron as like the guy who's like, oh, a bunch of young guys he's trying to help out, and then like they succeed and obviously stay tight together. So it's all I always thought they were cool the tag team for that.
No, yeah, definitely cool. Some interesting stuff. It was just interesting. I'm like, it's an interesting move set. Um, but yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I watched Dynamite too. That main event was awesome. Shout out to Will Hobbs. Shout out to QT Marshall for the assist. Wardlow still looked like a beast. Um, Hobbs was awesome. There was spine busters out the ass between these two. Just gave that big fight Hoss feel. So I was a big fan of it. Really enjoyed that one. But enough of talking about what we watched. Why don't we talk about what we did? And we'll start with Perch because his weekend started first.
Yeah, this weekend we had a good one. It was a little Thursday, Friday action. Starting out Thursday night in Chicago for freelance wrestling. It's on IWTV. We are live at the Emporium Arcade. It's right next door to the Logan Square Auditorium. The only difference is it's an arcade and there's tons of video games. Got in on some Tekken, some Mortal Kombat, some Blitz, some NBA Jam. The triple threat of the 90s for me, Space Jam pinball, Tales from the Crypt pinball, Terminator 2 pinball. Um, about as good as it could get for my selections. It was phenomenal. Um, and there was a amazing wrestling show that night. Freelance wrestling was always a fun time. Had the opening scramble match with Blair, um, Lobo, sort of incredible Iverson, Saban Gage, Aaron Payne, Shane Mercer was in there. Yeah, it was wild. Shane Mercer hit the moonsault battery inside that arcade, and that crowd didn't know what they just witnessed.
Don't worry,
Like,
fans. We've been watching wrestling for years, and we barely know what we witness when he hits it sometimes.
you could have given him a fall away slam, and that crowd would have went nuts. They just watched an alien come down from outer space and abduct someone and throw him back.
Yeah.
It was funny. Next match I had was GPA and Laney Luck against Chico and Angel. Fun match. GPA and Laney ended up winning. It was completely clean as far as I saw it. The crowd saw something different, but I calls as that sees it.
Yep.
Took Craig Mitchell against Carlos Romo. Love having Carlos Romo matches. He brings it. He's got a good moonsault. Speaking of that Muda moonsault, where he'll hit that backbreaker and set someone up. Like Romo's got that ability too, where it's like, whoa, that guy's back pretty far, and he nails it. Yeah, I love it. It's a graceful move. It's an awesome professional wrestling visual and storytelling around it too. Very fun match in that one. And then the final match of the night was for the championship. Storm Grayson defending it against Trevor Outlaw. That match was a wild brawl throughout the entire arcade. Protected the games to the best of my ability.
Yep. Can't break that Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I don't want to break that one. Especially MK4. That one was a damn good one. But yeah, very fun match. Storm ended up keeping his title. Great time. And then the next day, Saturday, or I guess Friday, was Brew City Wrestling at the Waukesha Elks Lodge on Springdale Road. What a great time. Going back to the original shows, love the Elks Lodge. And everybody who goes there, they're all very close to my heart and our heart for starting out. My goodness, it's our home. So had a fun time there. One match that I was really looking forward to. If I wasn't reffing it, I would be watching it. And in this case, I was able to ref it. And it was the TAU going up against Sasquatch.
The Great Outdoors,
Good
I
old
believe, is
Yeti.
their tag name.
Yeah, Great Outdoors, Yeti and Big Bear Oso. Yeah, what a great match. A couple of good heels. Seeing Hua Ming and Josiah Batsana cut a promo, both of them each, without even, flinching. I give them all the credit in the world. Very cool to experience. I had to keep a straight face inside that ring. And yeah, what they said hit me to the core. Damn it.
I had feelings.
Scott and I are sitting there going, "Oh, we're eating strays here for just being."
when they peeled the curtain back, when he came back, I was like, all right, after that shot at Perch, you probably should have just ended the promo. You weren't going to get a bigger reaction than that.
Too funny. Those guys did a great job out there. And yeah, fun to be a part of it. Fun match all around. All those guys are great. I'm training with the TAU and Yeti. and having, worked with Oso for a handful of years, a good rep inside that ring in front of a live audience. That's awesome. That's a good day at the office, good training, good show, and it translated. Talked to people throughout the night who really enjoyed that match too.
Yeah.
It was fun. Just good old fashioned pro wrestling. Next match I had was Dysfunction against Jarrett Jacks. That's a classic Wisconsin matchup. My goodness, I really was looking forward to that match too. Seeing Dis come out in that home, incredible. He thinks that I screwed him over in the pin. I don't think I did. Jax won it clean.
Jackson's
Very
that
fun.
vet. Can't sleep on
Very
Jake.
fun match. Very fun match. And then the main event was Big John Crowley against Stacy Shadows. Big John defends his title and beats Stacy Shadows. That was a very fun match to be a part of as well. Yeah, really enjoyed this weekend.
Yep. And just for a little after match shenanigans, the BCW Heritage champion Ethan comes out and challenges Crowley to a title versus title match. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be fun. I don't think we've had that in my career since I've been here. So really looking forward to that, seeing how that goes.
Nice looking titles too. A reamp on the titles.
Yep.
They're
Yep.
beautiful.
They look good. They look good. Zach, how was our show this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend was a short weekend, and definitely short because had to leave early. Trust me, we had the announcements. People were happy.
Yep.
People were amped about me leaving early. Definitely not the match people are anticipating for, but tag title match. See us defend our belts for the first time against whatever they want to call themselves, the super athletes, apex superstars. I mean, I don't know what they are, but
I'm calling them Apex Superstars because that is better.
yeah, I agree. But I thought we did pretty well. Busted out some new stuff. Annihilated CJ with the power bomb out of nowhere.
That was very slick.
Not gonna lie, it was cool to actually do the finisher that way, the Dominator style, because I want to say that's how Doc and I originally planned it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, wasn't this the original version?
It was 100% the original version, except maybe I'm just weak.
I think it was in the era of you overcomplicating it, because that was also when you would complicatedly pick people up for our finish as well.
Me overcomplicate? Nah.
Yeah, I just think you.
I'm pretty sure I'm a simple guy. Pretty sure I'm a simple man, but well, anyway, I thought we had a good match. Definitely like a match I would do again. Hate Steve Boz, but I'll wrestle him anywhere. CJ, another one that's growing up in the camp with us, so like it's always fun to do some things with him. Nothing. It's like what we said before. There's one thing of winning the titles and another thing of actually defending them, and we actually got to defend our titles for the first time, so we got that knocked out of the way.
Yep.
So
yeah. Same. Very much enjoyed the match. He whipped out some new stuff. I whipped out some old stuff and some new and current stuff, I guess, that I've been doing. Love working CJ. Haven't gotten to work him in a while, it feels like. Same thing with Boz. Boz is a great guy to be there in the ring with. It's wonderful, peel the curtain back for a second, have at least the three of us all on the same page. CJ was a little out of it, but got there eventually. Just have 5 guys in that ring that are all feeding off of each other and appreciate and take wrestling seriously. It was a good feeling. I think we had a very good match. Crowd was very amped for the finish. I don't care that Dakota says it was overkill. We're trying to make sure he don't kick out.
Bro, I've not been there, but I'm pretty sure one of the greatest wrestlers right now in the country would say a 3-shot double kill is never too much.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're only doing what one of the hottest wrestlers on the planet right now said to do. So
And I mean, we failed him because we only did 2. So
yeah, I
we
mean
took.
technically it was 3 because there was the one to take out Boz. It just wasn't a pop pop pop. It was a pop
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
pop pop. A little off rhythm, but big
I'm
3.
still with it. We
Yeah,
posted today. Looks great. Maybe it might be a new finisher. So
yeah.
be
We'll
prepared,
see.
people.
Always evolving. Awesome. Awesome. Speaking of evolving, I guess as workers, topic for this week. I don't know if you saw it, but Undertaker in his interview on BT Sports, um, was talking about how he doesn't feel wrestlers today are protecting or developing their characters. Um, so I wanted to ask the fellas, what do you think you guys do to protect your gimmick or protect your character? Um, I'll go first. For me, it's the ABC. Always be selling. I think I take pride in my selling, and I don't care how many people are still at the show. I am always going to be selling the match. I think that is very important. They just saw me go to war. They saw me probably almost die because that's kind of my thing. So I think it'd be very silly for me to be running around, jumping around after the match. Also, my body does actually hurt, so it makes it very easy to sell. Um, but I think that is a very important factor for the believability in wrestling, and it does sort of bother me when people are not selling the match that just happened. Like I it does bother me a little bit. It's like it's such a simple thing to just hold a body part or walk a little slower, and I think that is lost today. Um, but that's me. Perch, what do you do to protect yourself as a referee?
Yeah, so it's a good question. To tell you the truth, before I ever joined wrestling, I never refereed a thing in my life. I've always been an arbitrator, call it right down the middle. Always been fair. Was cut out for it, definitely. It's in my blood. But I actually had to learn what it meant to be a referee, what jobs a referee does, what responsibilities are handled, as well as what needs to be done for a show. So I treat it as like a union worker or a construction worker or a city worker going into work, uh, making sure everything is good, uh, making sure the ring is on point, making sure the talent and all the wrestlers are able to get from point A to point B just fine, make sure the fans are safe, um, ensure the safety of every match and its ability to get to the ring. So I've always got something on my mind that needs to be done and can be done for the show. Uh, make sure that the ring looks good for cameras and everything too. And once a match begins and when it ends, uh, I stay the same uh, from curtain to curtain and then through the back. I'll always explain the rules to the wrestlers before the match. So when it comes time inside the match, I let them know we went over the rules on the back, so I can feel it even more. I'm not just BSing out there. It's actually doing stuff so we can believe in the work that we put in. And as a referee, I'm upholding the integrity of the sport for the fans to get a fair fight. And if I'm able to to do everything I can in my power to ensure that, then I'm doing my job, and in turn, I think protecting, the character of the referee in the business as well.
Nice. Zackety Zach.
When you first asked this, I don't know, it was weird for me because like sometimes I don't really think I have a character,
Mm-hmm.
I think the ignorant guy you see out there who is not athletic, not really like, he's just kind of doing his thing. That's just me. Like, there's not really a character. It's just, I try to like, I think if I would say we have a gimmick, I guess like I take pride in knowing that Doc and I have a lot of good tag matches. So things I do to protect that is I try to be a little bit. I think I'm a little bit more up to date. I feel like sometimes while everyone's like, "Hey, who's this person?" Like I always get a text from someone in our like one of the boys like asking me like because they know I probably like Doc and like Perch like I might know who the person is, but I'm always trying to keep up to date on like what's the best tag teams out there because like I want to make sure we're up to that level. Uh, I just think we have a so maybe I don't know like probably this is a cop out answer because I don't really think I have a gimmick except that like just trying to always make sure we have good matches and not disappoint people.
I'll put this in fancier words. You always try to be knowledgeable about tag team wrestling. You take tag team wrestling very seriously, and it is good to know what's out there.
See, that my gimmick is outlaw knees. I just translates to
Yeah, my gimmick is translator.
no, I mean like I think it's like I don't know, like I don't really like I said, like I just don't look at me as a gimmick anymore. I feel like when we first started, everyone has a character they're trying to portray and all that. And I feel like it's like common with all indie wrestling. Like you have guys like you always see pitching like, whoa, that's who they used to be. And now you see them now kind of like when you get that confidence and know like, all right, what I'm selling, like I know what I'm selling, I know who I am, I know what I'm about, and like I just want to amp it up now.
Yeah. But it's one of the things it got me thinking. I mean, maybe it's something we should think about. But Armani shared that post of how would you explain your character gimmick to somebody else? So
Hard hitting hood rats.
hard hitting hood rats, and how do you protect that by being knowledgeable and making sure that we are at a competitive level with other tag teams out there?
Oh yeah, I definitely think like we definitely like know what our strengths are. Like Doc knows what I'm good at. I know what you're good at. And we definitely like complement each other in that way. And like I mean like we do have a reputation of being hard hitters. So like I always don't like to complain if I get hurt in a match. I guess that's one thing I protect myself on because I know I like to lay it in. So like I don't want to complain about someone else laying it in.
Mm-hmm.
Except the one time I did have to text Wall. I was like, bro, my leg cannot move.
Yeah. No, yeah. Wall was kicking the shit out of you.
Yeah. But even then, I was like, I guess that's like the protecting the gimmick thing because I'm like, man, me and Doc are known for hitting hard. So like, am I really gonna message this guy and be like, hey, my leg hurts?
Peel it back, but nah, it was a good match.
Yeah.
And got them over. So we protected his.
I don't really think we need to help get them over. They're pretty over.
They're getting there. They are getting there.
Definitely one of those I'm proud of.
Yep. Nice. All right. Yeah, this might be a shorter episode because it was a shorter week, but fellas, what we got coming up this weekend? Zach.
We got
Banger.
2 tag championships and like I guess banger we could put it that's like a small way to describe it, like a light version of it. But we are taking on the Bang Bros. This is something I think Doc and I we took them on a few years ago after COVID. Bang Bros. We took them on Zella Pro twice. First time we tasted defeat. Second time we got the W back. So it's kind of nice now. It was kind of their home promotion. Now I feel like we're kind of the home team here. So now they're coming into our backyard, and we're not only just wrestling, we're defending them for the 0-1 USA Tag Team Championships. So that's something we don't take lightly. We've held those belts for almost a year. I've never held a belt for a full year, so it's a goal of mine to make sure we hold it for a calendar year.
Yeah, shout out to Rob on commentary for that. I did not realize we've held him for that long.
Only reason when I only knew like it a little bit because when we were riding, Armando was looking up their Wikipedia and like called it out.
Oh, dang. No, yep, I don't pay attention. I'm a horrible champion. But yeah, looking forward to that. This match, it is like, yeah, it's almost 3 years later since
I
our
mean, they
last
are,
time.
and like it's crazy to think like we're the champions, but I definitely feel like the underdog. They're like definitely arguably one of the top tag teams in the country.
Oh, I don't feel like the underdog. I just feel like we are both a lot better than we were back then. They might have had a chance to shine on a few bigger stages, but we have shined on different stages. We both improved very much as a tag team since our last meeting. So I very much am looking forward to the Sparks flying on Saturday. And then Sunday, one of our other most trusted rivals, we are headed to All Heel Wrestling to challenge for the All Heel Wrestling Tag Team Championships.
I
Again,
mean, all the cool kids right now have 3 belts. The Bang Bros have 3. After they beat us, we have 4. But if not, we will have those belts. We have the Bruce City belts. NDS has 3 tag belts. So like, I heard rumor is if you're a cool tag team, you have 3 tag belts. So Ghetto Gear Solid, you guys have way too many tag belts, and we need to be cool tag team.
I mean, we did hold 4 at one point, so
I think we had 5 at one point, but
very possible.
we're not the cool kids right now.
Yeah, we are not the cool kids. We are fighting our way up back to being the cool kids. And on Sunday, all the cool kids go to the skate park.
We will hurt them.
Yep, no, I'm looking forward to this. Last time at All Heel, this match got thrown out. So management decided what is the point of having a match that we try to contain these two. So it will be a dive bar fight match, I believe is what they called it.
Yeah, anything goes. Dive bar rule fight. I don't know,
but basically anything goes.
You know, it'd be funny. We just do a regular tag.
Yeah, we actually have a match and keep it all in the ring this time. I will be on the lookout for that box. Rashad, you're not going to sneak up on me again, but I'm sure now that the rules have been thrown out, this will be a wild, hard-hitting match. So very much looking forward to it. Get your tickets. Come out, support All Heel Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Perch, what do you have this weekend?
This weekend we'll be with Game Changer Wrestling out on the East Coast and a little bit north as well. Friday night, Eye for an Eye at about 7 o'clock Central, I believe, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fight TV. We'll be in New York with Game Changer Wrestling. Should be a really fun time. Friday night, and then over on Sunday at I think 6 Central in Toronto for Game Changer Wrestling. Worst Behavior is the show for that one. Really excited. First time in New York, and first time in Toronto. So yeah, really excited to get to experience what the crowds are like, what the atmosphere is like, and what the pro wrestling is going to be like. Really going to be a fun time.
AKA Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, continuing on that GCW World Tour and making the most of it. Love learning. And yeah, they're really excited. Should be some banger shows. Fight Plus is only like $4.99. And you get every pay-per-view, just like the WWE Network. All the Game Changer Wrestling shows are on the Fight Network. And yeah, great to watch them live. You can put it on the phone and put it right on the TV, being able to watch and review footage, and yeah, really good time. So excited this weekend. Should be a really fun time.
Nice. All right, and with that, Zach. Oh, actually, I mean, though it's already been decided, Zach, what did you hope happened to the ROH tag titles?
Yeah. So something similar to what they were gonna do I was thinking of doing like annual tournament like the Dusty Road Classic, but like call it like the Jay Briscoe Annual or the Reach for the Sky, whatever you want to do. But like, I thought they should have vacated the belts like how they are doing. But just do a tag tournament. Like everyone likes to get tag tournaments. Like I know you like tournaments. You love watching New Japan just for the tournament aspect.
Yep.
Something that he was well known for.
New Japan
14-time
Cup.
tag team. What's that?
Yep, New Japan Cup going on right now.
Yes, sir. So like everyone likes a good tournament. Jay Briscoe is known for a tag guy. I think it would have been great to showcase some tag wrestling and like the guys that I would put in the finals would have been Top Flight versus the Outrunners.
Okay. Yeah, put some new guys, some new blood up there, I guess.
Pretty much. But yeah, that was my idea.
Okay. And then, since we're winding down, did you have any final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, I had one. I was talking to like some of the guys about it. It was like, what's a random thing you always thought would be cool to do for wrestling? Like something that's not a normal goal, but like something if you ever got to do, like, oh, like I'm glad I got to experience this. Like, for example, I don't think it'll ever happen, but I always thought it'd be cool, like if you could like enter on a stage and the crowd knew who you were, and you're that over, you could just jump in the crowd and like crowd surf to the ring. Like, I always thought like someone at Mondo could have done that at Cooperage. Like when you guys used to walk up that like stage way and like it's like that you have to move. I was like, man, imagine if you were just so over, you just jump in the crowd and they crowd surf you to the ring.
I guess kind of similar, but I just always thought it would be cool if I could do the Rey Mysterio entrance somewhere.
Pop out like the ground.
Yep. But yeah, I would love to do that. I always thought that was one of the coolest entrances. Don't know where I'm going to find a place that has a setup for it. Being that WWE just builds it every time, but that was always a thing for me. Or I really enjoyed the Aleister Black like Rise from the Grave one. So any of those like super intricate entrances that definitely requires you to build it every time. If I could do any of those on an indie show, I always thought that would be cool. I always thought it would be cool for us if because our song is a like children's rhyme, if we could get like elementary school dance team to like do the beginning part of our entrance.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
I know I had pitched it to the one homie from the bar we used to frequent because she taught dance. But
yeah, I know you're talking about this. I don't know her name.
Yep, can't remember her name right now. But I did pitch that to her. I did want to try to get that done for one of the rises. But yeah. Those I've always thought like a cool entrance like that would be dope.
No, yeah, definitely. Like a lot.
Yeah. Perch, you got anything?
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy the classic of a couple of my favorites always doing it. It's simply coming out to the ring with a water bottle, like Triple H or Moxley. Just let me drink a water bottle, chug it, spit it if I need to, throw it if I need to, toss it, anything. Just I like a good swig of water before hopping in the ring, and the closest bit I can get, to the ring, while drinking water is my fave. So we don't want any wetness around the ring, but yeah, I would definitely be chugging the water, grab a swig, toss it out to the crowd. I love the way Moxley hucks it. Triple H gave it more of a graceful toss.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do it, just very, casually, and tuck it under the ring. So then later on I can, go back to it if I need.
Yeah.
But yeah, the simple water bottle entrance is one of my faves of all time.
Those J Brones, the premier, do the Triple H. Has been their thing lately, I've noticed. So totally get it.
Yeah, and Aquafina water of choice too. Goes back to those old days.
I disagree with you right there, brother. Can't stand Aquafina. Perch, final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, much love to Rey Mysterio. Um, well earned Hall of Fame inductee.
Yep.
I wonder if they'll do a little angle going in with his son.
Well, they just announced, or Dom just came out and challenged him to WrestleMania, to a match at WrestleMania.
Good, good as it is written.
Yeah.
Because Rey Mysterio is one of the best. I remember when I first started watching WCW, it was amazing. I loved Giant, but my dad loved Rey Mysterio. He always bet on the smaller guys. So as long as I can remember, Rey Mysterio was my dad's favorite. But that was just in the 90s. He had his favorites growing up too.
Yeah.
So I've always loved Rey, and he's always been a part of my life. And from the earliest memories of pro wrestling, Rey was right there doing it. When I first remember him, it was in the magazines, and he had no mask.
Yep.
And sure, you would see highlights of him with the mask, sure, but yeah, when I was coming to and starting to realize what pro wrestling was and who people were, Rey was non-masked. So we're in that generation of people who grew up. That's our first incarnation of Rey Mysterio Jr.
So for me, my first incarnation would have been through the video games, the WCW video games. Would have been where I first saw Rey, and then after getting into the video games is when I started watching wrestling more. So that WCW Revenge or WCW versus NWO, WrestleMania 2000, with No Mercy, like those were the ones that I was like, okay, I'm gonna start watching like seriously. I'd watched a couple things before that, but not much. And yeah, Rey was that dude. I think Drew McIntyre tweeted out, very well deserved. Probably needs his own wing in the Hall of Fame for just how influential he has been on like modern wrestling. I mean, he was such an unobtainable goal for me that I never thought I could be a wrestler, because that's that's the thing. When you're a smaller guy, everybody is like, oh well, you can just be Rey Mysterio. I don't think you realize how good Rey Mysterio is. I can't just be another Rey Mysterio. I have a better chance of being like another Stone Cold, another The Rock, than being another Rey Mysterio. Or that's how it feels. Super influential, still can go after all these years, has been seemingly at the top of his game multiple times in his career. So very well deserved. Very happy
that
to see.
Came over to SmackDown like in the mid 2000s.
Oh yeah, the first explosion through the ring.
Yeah, going back to your entrance, that was just such a great era. Wrestling was amazing. He was putting on such high level, high endurance matches. Whether it was a Benoit and Guerrero and him, or Triple H and someone and him, or Randy Orton and him, Kurt Angle in there too.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio had the best of the best. He always put so much thought and craft into his art that he put out, and he was amazing. Still is. Anytime he's still on today, it's like, oh, we get a Rey Mysterio
match. Yeah, especially if it's like, oh, he's gonna go with this guy. Like when him and Andrade had their little thing, it was like, oh yeah. Give me this.
That was great.
This.
I always remember he always had like cool gear for Mania. Always had like the Marvel gear.
Yep, always somebody whose gear was on point. Would go all out. Still giving us some amazing moments. We were talking about the unmasked era of Rey. There was a video circulating around earlier about during that time, and just how wild he was with the filthy animals. Him, Conan, and was it Kidman on the filthy animals then? Or it might have been.
It may have been. He was definitely in that blue jean and tank top
era. Yeah.
Era.
Yeah, Rey, super influential, super deserving. of going in the Hall of Fame. Kind of weird it took this long, but hey, we never knew when he was going to retire, and it just seems like the miracle of modern medicine. Those knees aren't going anywhere anytime soon. And as for me, I didn't say it last week, but let me say it this week. Everybody, please be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of your health. If your body needs rest, rest. We want you all to be as healthy as possible. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what's a weird thing in wrestling that you wanted to do. Go ahead and put that in the comments. Follow us on all the social medias. Tell promotions to book us because we like to wrestle and ref. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. One.
Yeah.